Welcome to Crayola Creativity Week. Today's theme is Exploring the Moon. Our special guests are Artemis 2's flight director, Charlie Blackwell-Thompson.
Hello.
Astronauts Jenny Gibbons and Andre Douglas.
Hi there.
Hello.
And Snoopy artist, Mary Valencia-Shyne.
Hi.
Welcome, Charlie. Please tell us something about yourself.
Hello, I'm Charlie Blackwell-Thompson. I'm NASA's Artemis launch director. Here at NASA, we make what might seem impossible, possible. So don't be afraid to dream big, to lean into challenges, because there is no limit to what can be achieved when you unite your passion with hard work and determination.
Jenny and Andre, please introduce yourselves.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jenny Gibbons, a proud member of the Canadian Space Agency astronaut team. One big lesson I want kids to learn from my experience is don't underestimate yourself. Whatever you want to do, even if it seems like an unlikely part of your future, have the confidence in yourself to try. Don't be the one to say no to your own dreams.
Hey everybody, I'm Andre Douglas, and I've been fascinated by space since I was 7 years old. My parents encouraged me and fueled my curiosity with telescopes and space books. I want students to realize that the best shot anyone has at reaching their dreams is to be flexible. Admit when you need help, and you'll be amazed by how many mentors and colleagues will help you get stronger.
Mary, please introduce yourself and share how you became an artist.
Hello, I'm Mary Valencia-Shyne, one of the artists who draws Snoopy, and I'm here at the lovely Charles M. Schulz Museum in Santa Rosa, California, where I'm surrounded by comics and cartoons. I've always loved art and comic strips, so being a Snoopy artist really combines everything that makes me smile. I love the way a simple image can tell a whole story, whether it's a movie animation or a graphic novel.
Charlie, why are confidence and collaboration important in your work?
The Artemis launch director role requires confidence in my own judgment, but just as importantly, confidence in the team. When a mission launches, the part that many of you may have heard is the launch director given that final go to proceed with launch countdown.
And liftoff of Artemis 1.
There is a lot that leads up to that important step. It's about the collaboration and teamwork in the days prior as the rocket and spacecraft are integrated and tested, as we practice launch operations in sims. And safety, it's always our top priority. So as we get closer to T0, the need to make critical decisions in a timely manner is really important. So what helps is that we demonstrate this through performance and through our teamwork as we go through our processing and simulations.
Jenny and Andre, please collaboratively read the book Shoot for the Moon, Snoopy.
Peanuts Shoot for the Moon, Snoopy.
One fine morning, Snoopy sat on his doghouse reading an astronaut training book for dogs. NASA was sending astronauts to the moon again, and he was determined to be one of them. I was the first beagle on the moon, he thought, and I'll be the second one, too. Charlie Brown walked by. If you want to fit into your spacesuit, Snoopy, you'd better start training, he said. Charlie Brown was right. Snoopy headed straight to the park for training, after grabbing a snack, of course.
Snoopy stood under a tree warming up for his exercises. He stretched slowly to the right, gradually to the left, then back to the right. In between stretches, he enjoyed bites of a giant sandwich. This sure beats freeze-dried food that they'll serve on the spaceship, he thought.
Peppermint Patty and Marcy were also at the park. Look, sir, Snoopy's exercising under that tree, Marcy said. And he's got a giant sandwich. Peppermint Patty jumped down from her swing and said, well, I'm curious and hungry. Let's go see what he's up to.
Hi, Snoopy. Nice sandwich, Peppermint Patty said. And nice to see you, Marcy added. Snoopy showed them his astronaut training book and then pointed to a headline in the newspaper. NASA's preparing to blast off to the moon and beyond, Marcy read out loud.
Snoopy smiled proudly. They're looking for a few good beagles. You're going to space? Peppermint Patty exclaimed. I could use a visual aid for my science report next week. Do you think you could bring me back a moon rock? Snoopy nodded. Thanks, Peppermint Patty said. If a real moon rock won't earn me a C+, I don't know what will.
Peppermint Patty leaned over Marcy's shoulder. The mission starts tomorrow? Peppermint Patty asked. Good grief, Snoopy. It takes years of intense work to go to the moon. You need to get in a spaceship shape right away, and we're going to help. We don't have enough time, sir, Marcy protested. Don't call me sir, Peppermint Patty roared. Call me Coach.
Then Peppermint Patty turned to Snoopy. We're going to help you train. We'll show the world you've got the right stuff. You can be quite motivating when you want to be, Sir Coach, Marcy said. Does this mean I can't finish my sandwich? Snoopy wondered.
Marcy flipped through Snoopy's book. Since liftoff is tomorrow, we'll assume you know the math required for your mission. I hope you've calculated the correct distance and speed that you'll need to break out of Earth's atmosphere. Yes, of course, Snoopy thought. I can also confirm that, regrettably, the moon is not actually made of cheese.
Then let's start with some intense physical activity, Peppermint Patty declared. Do 20 jumping jacks and run 3 laps around the park. Snoopy groaned. That sounded a bit too intense. It's important to exercise in space, Marcy said. The low gravity affects your muscles, so you need to use them to stay healthy.
Snoopy still wasn't convinced. Then Marcy said, besides, after a workout, you can treat yourself to a freeze-dried ice cream. Now Snoopy was convinced.
It took a while, but Snoopy finished his workout regimen. Marcy was surprised. The fact that you're a beagle and you can do 1 jumping jack is impressive. She was right. Great work, Peppermint Patty said, patting Snoopy on the back. You've earned a little break. Snoopy immediately lay down to take a nap.
After a while, Peppermint Patty woke up Snoopy. Get up, old pal. I'm going to show you what it's like to move in low-gravity environment. Snoopy was confused. I thought napping was a low-gravity environment.
Gravity is the force that holds your feet on the ground, Marcy explained. The moon has less gravity than the Earth, which means you'll float around like a balloon filled with helium. Peppermint Patty agreed. But don't worry, it won't make your voice sound funny.
Here, Snoopy, I'll demonstrate. Peppermint Patty plopped Snoopy down on one end of the seesaw. He was immediately suspicious. I'm going to jump on the other end of the seesaw and launch you right up into the air, Peppermint Patty said. As you're falling, you'll get an idea of what it's like when gravity isn't holding you down. Isn't that clever? Snoopy did not think this was clever. Sir Coach, Marcy said, I have another idea. Why don't we use the fountain?
Peppermint Patty was confused. A fountain? We're not throwing pennies and making wishes. And stop calling me Sir Coach. Marcy explained that Snoopy could float in the water. He would learn what it feels like to move around while his feet aren't touching the ground. Peppermint Patty sighed. We can try it, I guess, but it's not as exciting as my seesaw idea.
Inside the fountain, Snoopy floated on his back. He glided around by moving his arms up and down. How does that feel? Peppermint Patty asked. Do you feel lighter than air? Snoopy shrugged and thought, it feels like I'm a giant bird bath. Don't tell Woodstock, though. I wouldn't want him to get jealous.
The last thing we need to do, Sir Coach, is show Snoopy what it's like to walk on the moon, Marcy said. According to the book, the surface of the moon is covered in craters, rocks, and a lot of dust. Peppermint Patty paused to think. We might need to go to Pigpen's place for this training. Marcy presented an easier solution. How about we try the sandbox instead?
Snoopy stepped into the sandbox. He took a small step, and the sand crunched beneath his feet. Just imagine you're on the moon, Peppermint Patty said. You're in space surrounded by stars. How do you feel? Snoopy smiled and thought, I feel like I've got so much more to explore.
Snoopy climbed out of the sandbox. Well, Snoopy, Marcy and I have done our best to train you. All you need now is a rocket, Peppermint Patty said. Snoopy was exhausted but proud. His training was complete. Excellent, he thought. Now I can finish my sandwich.
Peppermint Patty and Marcy walked Snoopy home. We're proud of you, Snoopy, Peppermint Patty said. You learned a lot and you never gave up. Snoopy smiled. I couldn't have done it without you, Sir Coach.
Charlie Brown was surprised to see Peppermint Patty and Marcy. What are you two doing here? He asked. We've been training Snoopy for his mission to the moon, Marcy announced. Mission to the moon? Charlie Brown repeated. Of course, Chuck, Peppermint Patty said. Don't you read the newspapers?
I wonder if he will really make it to the moon, Charlie Brown said. Suddenly, Snoopy leaped out from behind his doghouse wearing a brand new spacesuit. Ta-da! They all laughed. I think he's going to try, said Marcy. If any beagle can do it, it's Snoopy, agreed Peppermint Patty. Snoopy proudly held up his head. Here's the world-famous astronaut blasting off for the moon.
Jenny and Andre, what lunar learning do you expect to result from the Artemis 2 mission?
During this 10-day trip, the crew will be operating in deep space, performing fascinating operations like rendezvous and docking activities. The things that I'm most excited to see come from this mission are going to be learning how to go back to the moon with our new spaceship and equipment. We haven't done this in a long time, and we're going to be doing a lot of learning to get there and support people to get there again in the future.
This mission will deepen our understanding of the moon's history and formation and will provide information about the broader solar system. At the same time, I think it's really awesome that we're gonna send human eyes to see the moon because there are other technologies out there like satellites that try to piece it all together, but we can actually use our eyes that are much better than those machines that are out there getting the data. So we're very excited to be a part of that mission.
Mary, please demonstrate how viewers can design their own original mission patch.
Sure thing, Mateo. But first, Charlie, can you please share some information about mission patches?
Mission patches tell a story about the mission, and for human spaceflight missions, they're designed by the flight crew. As you can see from the Artemis 2 patch, the moon is very prominent as we are flying past the moon on this mission for the first time in 50 years. They serve as an emblem for us, a tangible reminder of what we're working towards.
Charlie, thanks for explaining all about mission patches. Now, let's make our own. I want you to think about what you would bring to the moon. What would go in your spacecraft when you're taking a moon mission? Those are the things that we're gonna put in our mission patches. Now for me, as a Snoopy artist, I wanna include things that Snoopy loves. So I'm gonna include Snoopy's doghouse, but I'm also gonna include the moon that appears on the Artemis 1 patch. I'm gonna take that moon and put it onto this patch for Artemis 2 and my moon mission. Then on top of that, I'm gonna put the text, "First Beagle on the Moon." First, we are going to draw our circle. So our circle is going to be the base for our mission patch. Okay, we have our basic mission patch going right here. And we're gonna start by drawing the moon surface like it appears on the Artemis 1 patch. We're bringing that into our Artemis 2 patch. So we're just gonna draw an arc right over the top like this. And that's our moon surface. Now the moon isn't completely smooth like this, right? So we're gonna wanna add some craters. Now I'm gonna draw Snoopy's doghouse. So first I'm gonna draw a line right down the center of this circle. A great way to draw a line is instead of moving your hand like this to draw the line, hold your hand steady and just pull it with your arm. It's a great way to get a nice straight line without using a ruler. Now I'm gonna use that as the center for where I'm gonna put Snoopy's doghouse. Snoopy's doghouse is square on the bottom. But on the top, it's sort of like a triangle with a big piece cut out of the top. So I'm gonna draw a nice big triangle. I'm not gonna press down too hard since I'm gonna erase some pieces of it later. And then I'm gonna just chop off the top of it like that. So we're gonna use that first beagle on the moon text, and we're gonna put it around the perimeter of the mission patch. So we have 24 characters, and we wanna divide that in half because we want half on this side and half on the other side. So we're gonna divide that by 2, which gives us 12. Now I'm actually gonna start by writing on the moon, because on the moon, we're gonna be able to write from left to right, which is a more natural way for us English speakers and English writers to write words. Now here's another tricky part. We're actually gonna write first beagle backwards because we don't wanna run out of space over here or have too much space on this side. So I'm actually gonna start with the E of beagle. And it's helpful to have the phrase right there so we don't misspell it, right? So now we're gonna actually change tools. I was working with the erasable colored pencils again, but I'm gonna switch over to these really cool watercolor pencils for the next stage. So we're gonna start off by drawing the border. I gotta find my blue color. This is the sky blue color I'm gonna be working with, and I'm going to use that color to fill the outside border of my mission patch. I'm not gonna immediately color it in. I'm gonna outline where I'm going to color. For consistency in colored pencils, you just want to draw and have a colored pencil stroke going in one direction. You also want to press with the same firmness as much as you possibly can. You're gonna take all the time that you need coloring this, and it might take a while. That's why we're gonna get to a point well, we'll have something more like this, where we've colored in the entire exterior, we've colored in Snoopy's doghouse, we added a little bit of the moon craters, and we even added some stars into the background. And now, all we need to do is finish coloring the night sky. And there we go. Here's the mission patch, all finished up.
Mary, for the next art demo, please show viewers how to create a zero-gravity indicator like Snoopy.
Before I make one, Charlie, can you explain what a zero-gravity indicator is?
Zero-gravity indicators are used on missions to visually signal when the spacecraft has reached a state of microgravity, also referred to as weightlessness. Each zero-gravity indicator is a lightweight object. It's not a scientific instrument. It is usually tethered. And as it floats in the spacecraft, it indicates how the spacecraft is handling. As it moves in the spacecraft, you can get indications of as you go through pitch and roll maneuvers. They are often plush, but they can be made of other materials as well, but no sharp edges. Some of you may remember that Snoopy flew as a zero-gravity indicator on the Artemis 1 mission in 2022.
It was so interesting to hear about Snoopy going to space. And this over here is the actual Snoopy, safely back on Earth at his home at the Schultz Museum. So let's be inspired by Snoopy to make our own zero-gravity indicators. So I am going to design a plush for this zero-gravity indicator, and since Snoopy got to go on the last Artemis mission, I figure it's time for Woodstock to go on this mission. So let's start by drawing his head feather and his beak. And because he's a plush, we're also gonna have little stitching at the front to indicate that he's a plush. And he's gonna be wearing a little collar because that connects to his helmet. Here's his eye, and here's his little mouth. His body's kind of shaped like a little teardrop or a little bit of water coming out of the faucet. And then I'm gonna draw his wings. We can make him nice and chubby because once again, this is a plush, not Woodstock himself. And we're gonna give him little cuffs to indicate that he's wearing a spacesuit, so both sides. And then we're gonna give him the little zipper so he can get in and out of his spacesuit quickly. Then I'm gonna give him a little badge right here, and his nice tail will go right behind him, Imagine having a spacesuit where you need to have a tail. That's what Woodstock experiences. All right, so here's our Woodstock drawing. Instead of using colored pencils to color this though, I am going to use my dual-ended doodle markers, and we are going to be using yellow today to start with because Woodstock is yellow, and we are going to be using the chisel tip. So what we're gonna do with our marker is we're gonna kind of trace the outline of Woodstock. There we go. And then I'm just gonna use the flat of the marker and pull down vertically to fill it in. Now you can scribble if you want to, but for neatness' sake, I like to try to line up my marker kind of side by side so we don't get as much overlap. So it looks more like just one fill of color. And notice how much ground we can cover using the chisel side of the marker. We don't have to, we don't have to like scribble too much. We can just kind of press and pull. And that's all we're gonna do with the yellow. Put the yellow aside, and we're gonna pick up the red next, because the red is gonna be the accents on Woodstock's uniform. There we go. Not last, we've got 2 more colors to go. We're gonna do a little bit of blue just to pay homage to NASA. Gonna give him a little blue patch right here. And then our last color is gonna be orange, just like Snoopy's spacesuit over here. All right, so to make this completely refined, we're gonna go and we're gonna use another kind of marker. And the great thing about these markers is they have a very versatile tip. You could get a nice chubby line by pressing down hard, but you can also get a very small line by very lightly pulling the marker across the page. First, we're going to go around the side. There we go. Let's give him his eye. And let's give him his happy little mouth. And we can't forget the stitching, so we know that he's nice and plush and he's not going to bang into anything on the spacecraft. And there we are. That's our Woodstock zero gravity indicator.
Thank you, Charlie, Jenny, Andre, and Mary for sharing information about the upcoming Artemis 2 launch and showing us how to draw a mission patch and zero gravity indicator.
Goodbye. See you next time.
Bye.
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 Teachers, librarians, and parents, be sure to check out more creative ideas at Crayola.com/creativityweek. And remember to share children's artwork. Post a photo on social media using hashtag Crayola Creativity Week for a chance to win today's amazing giveaway.